Hello, welcome to the Coyote Ugly Satellite Bar. I'm Courtnie Carter and I'm here with Lil again. Yay! We're going to talk all things NOLA, the Coyote Ugly New Orleans Bar. So, hi Lil, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
So we
good.
got another participant.
Yes, it
By
hurt
the
me.
way, he is from New Orleans. He was rescued from New Orleans.
Okay, so Lil, how was NYC to begin with? How was the 30th anniversary party?
Fun, a little overwhelming, but fun.
Okay.
It's interesting because, we're throwing a party, so it's fun,
Right.
but it's also stressful because you're trying to make sure that it goes off with as few hitches as possible.
Right.
Super cool that we got to meet Alexa Ray.
Yes.
Joel.
She
was
beautiful.
incredibly nice and very talented.
Yes,
very
I saw a video. Vocals were amazing. She is phenomenal. That was awesome. How packed was the NYC bar? I know you probably didn't even get to speak to everybody who wanted to say hello to you.
And I always feel guilty about that, but what are you can't do
Right,
anything
you
about
can't
it.
do anything about that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then how was the after party? That's what you were looking forward to the most, I
Oh,
remember.
the next day?
The next day, yes.
This is awful, but I was too hungover to go. So I did not go.
Was everyone just buying you shots? I know, all night probably.
You know what? I didn't drink any liquor. I drank wine. And they had bought me a bunch of wine. And it's like, I think it's the not drinking water is the issue.
Yes. Do we know how the other bars did at their parties and performance-wise, if there were any big things that happened at some of the other bars?
Well, I think that they, from the logs that I read, they all had fun, and we had a live feed going on at the New York bar, so I could see the other bars on the live feed, which I found kind of distracting actually, because I'm like, hey, that girl's not doing her job right, or oh my God, San Antonio, I'm watching you. So it was interesting.
Yes, it was nice to see all the videos coming in with all the bars wishing you well and saying happy anniversary. That's awesome. So thankful to be a part of your Coyote Ugly family. So
it's interesting because everybody was telling me happy 30th to you, but the reality is this is a group, and I may have started the bar, but it's definitely been a team effort to get us to where we're at now.
Yeah. And I know you were New York City's favorite bartender. So how many of your old regulars
so many years ago, forget it. Like, I don't even know if I can make a drink anymore.
Did you have a lot of your old regulars though from the New York City bar come in?
Well, they do every year. So, it's interesting. It's interesting just that they've kept together too,
Yeah.
So, it was a big part of their life and creating long-term friendships.
Yes, that's awesome. So let's talk Mardi Gras. I know this is a big time in the New Orleans bar. Yes. Yes. What made you pick New Orleans as a location? Right.
New Orleans.
Besides the obvious.
So New Orleans was the third Coyote, second being Las Vegas. We went down there, and it's just, the French Quarter is just so busy, and I ended up buying a property, and so the Coyote now is in the building I own. So it just made a lot of sense. And then, when I went down there, it was supposed to be a move for 6 months and then head back to New York, but we ended up kind of falling in love with it.
Oh, and your son actually graduated from high school in New Orleans?
Well, we moved to San Diego when he started high school.
Okay.
So he lived in New Orleans until the end of 8th grade.
Okay, wow. That is so awesome. And how many of your original Coyotes are still with you in New Orleans?
Chantel.
Oh, I remember remember Chantel. She was on the photo shoot in San Antonio with us.
So
Wow.
Chantel, was one of the girls, and then just started moving up, assistant manager, general manager. Now she works for corporate. So she's been with us because the bar just turned 21. So she's been with us over 21 years.
Wow, and I had the chance to meet Jazz last week. She is awesome.
How many years has Jazz been there? 15?
Yeah, because she said she came in 2008. Yep. Yeah, wow. She was awesome and was just telling us all about the New Orleans bar and her experience, how she became a Coyote and all of that. So that was great. That was great. What makes the New Orleans bar different or stand out from any of the other Coyote?
So the New Orleans culture is very unique. And I really haven't come across that in any other city. And, I've been all over the world, but one, they're nuts, straight out.
All the time? Is that just constant?
Well, and when I say that, I'm not even talking about drunk crazy. I'm talking about there's a liveliness to the people there that's just, it's charming, frustrating, and endearing all at the same time. So there's just definitely, that was a very big culture shock to me. Going from New York, then going to Coyote Ugly Vegas, we're talking about girls that are workhorses. Most of them are, they're working at Coyote to be something else. They're singers, dancers, actresses, hard workers. Well, then you get down to New Orleans and it's like, yeah, I just feel like doing it. Wow. Or just some of the crazy. It's just, all of a sudden I saw a different slice of Americana. So it was this vibrant city. Food is so important, drinks are important, family is important. They're very entrenched in their own culture. So incredibly proud to be New Orleanian. Like I was gonna say Louisiana, but I don't think so. I think it's more New Orleanian because they seem to bicker amongst themselves. If you're from Baton Rouge, you think you're better than New Orleans. If you think you're from Mardi Gras is better than New Orleans, so it's more there. But it was just funny. Even the girls, just it's a different energy. They're funny, like super funny. They don't even know they're doing it.
Wow. Are they welcoming to New Yorkers? I know here in North Carolina, it's like, oh, you're from the North, but did you find that you were just welcome?
I feel like in New Orleans, they register the fact that they make their money from tourists. So they're very nice. Like even going to Saints games, like you'll see other fans of the opposing team, but the Saints fans know that they're making their money off these people coming into town. So I always feel like it's such a healthy, endearing environment. They're just having fun. So it's great.
Oh, good. And you
now,
were there.
I will say this, which is funny. I remember when we had decided to move, and my son was tiny, but being invited out to like a mother's lunch, something like that. And this woman comes up to me and said, "Where did you go to school?" And I said, "NYU." And she goes, "No, high school." And I'm thinking, what the fuck is?
Right.
What high school? And then I realized it's a clique, it's a social thing. Like down there, it's like a socialite thing. You're supposed to go to the best high school, and your family is supposed to be in a certain, echelon in the community. And I remember being like, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, that's not you. Besides the culture and the hardworking people of New Orleans,
the food.
gosh, I've only been to New Orleans once, in Dragos, those oysters.
Dragos, yeah.
Dragos, oh my
They've
gosh.
got those char-broiled oysters. Those are delicious.
Yes, they are. They are.
I think it's just welcoming. In New York, you'd live in an apartment for 10 years and never say hello to your neighbor. I'm not saying that you're not nice as a New Yorker, but there's difference. Like, as a New Yorker, you would go give the shirt off your back for somebody you knew, but not necessarily somebody you don't
know. Yes.
In the South, and in New Orleans in particular, it's that everybody's very welcoming. So your neighbors really do come over and bring you cookies when you move in and stuff like that. I remember going down there and being like, fuck, do I have to reciprocate all these fucking cookies? Like,
right? Like, did you?
No, they didn't want to start a precedent. I don't bake.
Right.
Now, that being said, do I do nice things for neighbors? Yes. If I need to help a neighbor, of course, I'll do something nice. But I just remember being like, God damn it, there's another fucking lemonade stand on the corner. Now, am I supposed to buy fucking lemonade when I don't even want lemonade just because it's the neighbor's kid? And I remember one day, Jackson was probably, I don't know, let's say 6 or 7. Neighbor has the lemonade stand, and he's like, maybe we should do it. And I said, I want you to look at that lemonade stand. She's charging 25 cents. Do you know how much the cups cost? How much it costs to produce the lemonade? Where's the marketing? Put some music on. I was like, if we do a lemonade stand, it's going to be done right. And I remember him being like,
never mind.
Sorry I asked, Mom.
Exactly, though. He has the right mom. We're going to do this right or not at all.
Yes.
Well, you spoke on some of the things that you like. Well, the charcoal oysters from Dragos. But what are some of your other favorite foods and places to grab drinks besides Coyote Ugly, New Orleans?
So I always like going to, well, now it's not there, but they had a happy hour at Morton's, which was in Canal Shops that I always liked. Where do I go now? I love going for a happy hour at Doris in the French Quarter. Good food, good drinks. Let's see, where else? Uptown, I'll go to Shia, and there's so many, there's literally so many delicious restaurants in New Orleans. Yeah. I love Jazz, and I went to number 7, which is in the Bywater. It's this place, it's a bad neighborhood, so you take an Uber there. But it's magnificent inside. It's got this, outdoor yard, and the light's very romantic. It's a French place. Oh God, we killed like 3 bottles of wine. Food was so good, we ordered the entree over again.
Really?
So
and this place is still there?
Yeah, there.
Okay, I got to put that on my list of places to go,
Yes.
but to remember to take an Uber because it's not in the best part of town.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. What surprised you about New Orleans?
Well, in New Orleans itself, a lot of people are very cosmopolitan. So I sent my son to a French school there. So he, went to a little French immersion school there. These people were international. You had diplomats there. You had saints' families would send their kids there. A lot of transplants, like honestly, we met so many French people. It was just very international, and I really liked that about New Orleans. Good.
And what did Jackson think about his time in New Orleans in comparison to where he finished up high school?
I think his memories of New Orleans are food related, is a lot of it. And he still occasionally talks to his best friend from grammar school. I think that he loved the culture. Like, I remember his first year in high school in San Diego, him being like, don't we get the week off? I was like, why would you get? And he's like, it's Mardi Gras. And I was like, yeah, nobody else gets the week off for Mardi Gras.
Wait, they get the week off for Mardi Gras? Oh, that is nice. So everyone really participates in this. This is a big family affair.
Yeah, so, it's interesting, being from the North, I thought Mardi Gras was just drunken people, hanging off the balconies. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but it really is the parades and the histories of the crews, the clubs that do the parades. Like, there's a big familial component to that. So I would bring, we would go with our bags and go to the parade routes and catch the beads. Jackson had thousands of beads, thousands. Wow. So, it was really cool that he was able to enjoy that and be part of that kind of culture.
Right. Let's talk about the bar, the New Orleans bar. What is your favorite memory from opening, the Coyotes trying out? Do you have any good stories or a good memory from that?
I mean, the girls were wild. The girls were wild. They were just beautiful. Oh God, that original staff, really, really beautiful. I remember it was crazy. The week we opened happened to be the same week that the Super Bowl was in New Orleans. So we were having, former NFL players come in. I remember one night LL Cool J came in. So it was cool. It was fun. There was a lot of energy there. I remember having a bouncer. God, what the hell was his name? All I know is, I'm not gonna lie, incredibly good looking. Incredibly good looking. And I remember this group of women coming in and being like, could we do a body shot off of him? And I remember being like, okay.
Yeah.
And asking him, do you mind?
Right.
But
Wow.
my opinion after that night is he'd done that before.
I wonder how many times after that he did that in that bar. Would you know?
Probably several. Dude, he was so good looking.
Wow.
So good looking.
Wow. What is the typical Saturday night of Mardi Gras for a Coyote? Jazz was saying they were there 24 hours?
So we used to do it. This year we decided, because it's hard to run it 24 hours is just very hard, because basically you're only giving the staff off 8 hours. They kind of have to do 2-a-days for that period. And we would be jam-packed, and we'd actually still make money from the 6 a.m. to noon. It's just hard to keep that up. But it's fun. The thing about Mardi Gras is people are out all the time, especially, some of it's weather related. Hopefully the weather's good enough where they're really out walking around. So, people go to the parades, they come back to the French Quarter, they go back to the parades, they come back. So, Saturday nights are pretty busy.
How long
and I don't know what she's doing this year. She might, sometimes they bring bands in. We always have the beer tub right at the door. So if you're just walking by, you can still get drinks.
Okay.
Jello shots, all that stuff.
Yeah, I heard you have some traveling Coyotes coming in, and they're going to be doing some guest bartending there. And that's all every year for Mardi Gras, you guys bring in some other Coyotes, right?
We have to. There's no way that little bar can do it all just with the staff there. So we bring staff in. I don't know who's going down this year. And it's just fun. It's kind of one, they're making money, but it's also a perk for them.
Right.
So they enjoy it.
Right.
And our only thing is you cannot call out. You can't
Right.
call out. So don't be stupid and go out after your shift and be too hungover
To come in
to work the next day.
Yeah.
But
wow.
some things happen.
Uh-huh. What do you have any secrets?
Dude, I'm just remembering now.
That guy's name?
Okay, wait, I've got a story. Todd Bridges
Oh, God.
comes to Coyote.
Mhm.
Let's just say one of our girls got off her shift. We didn't know she had gone out with him.
Oh, goodness.
And I get a call the next day from the manager. The girl's not coming to work because, she's now in love with Todd Bridges.
Oh, my
I
God.
remember, like, really? Todd Bridges is affecting our freaking shift, day shift? We're missing a girl because of Todd Bridges?
Right. Oh my gosh. Did she really never come back? Well, she
Yeah,
probably lost
I
her
don't
job after that.
Yeah, I'm sure she got fired.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Any secrets, or I say secrets, but any
I
tips?
should not be telling these stories because it goes right against what I say. Like, you're not supposed to date the customers and stuff. But
I know. I remember people
can't
ask that all the
always
time.
hold- Yeah, you
They
can't
ask,
always-
is that true? Is that true? Like, no, really, we do not date the customers. Yeah.
In the perfect world, it just makes sense, but you can't always control all of it.
That's true. That's true, because you run into all those issues. Oh my gosh, he's looking at my
Yeah.
girl. So, yeah. So that was perfect. That was a good thing to put in there. Jazz and I were talking about the sorority type, like how we just kind of, all the Coyotes and staff, and you and I talked about this, about it being so familial, but like how there's just some way that we all relate to each other that other people just don't understand. Like, if I say I'm a former Coyote, people who are Coyotes know what that entails in the life that we lived and just how close we all are. And I know that that's something that you have always spoken about, and I just want to commend you for just being able to pick staff and people who work for you that encourage that amongst us. So thank you.
I am probably the most proud of that. Just the culture of the bars. I'm not saying it always works out perfectly, but I think for the most part, we've built little families in all these bars, and it's interesting. It doesn't matter which bar, they all kind of have their cliques. So I could talk to somebody who, worked at Coyote Ugly, Oklahoma 10 years ago, and they still communicate with the girls that worked with them too. So
Yeah.
it really is interesting.
It is. And it's just a nice experience to be able to have. We also talked about just how empowering the job is. Just knowing that I'm a woman, I control what goes on in this bar, and we're throwing parties at the best bar ever, going through breakups and still just throwing a party every day. So I just want to thank you, Lil. It's just amazing, like the type of people that you've been able to bring together, and like you said, the culture that's been able to thrive in your bars.
Why, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, so what is the best meal you ever had in New Orleans? The best.
That's hard to say because you've got the crawfish boils and they're delicious. And
Did you eat crawfish before you moved there, or was that something?
Yes, but not in the same way. Like living in New York City, we get a lot of foods, and but it was already shelved. Like, I'd never been to a crawfish boil. I didn't know how to peel things.
Right.
I didn't know the sides and all the stuff that was going on. It's quite a process. I'm actually throwing a crawfish boil in New Orleans in about 3 weeks, I think. So it's fun. We get the people in, they do the big pots, and it's just fun. Messy
but fun.
because food is so delicious there. Like, I don't know if any particular one is necessarily more delicious than the other, and anybody who knows me knows that I don't eat some of the stuff that other people like. I'm not eating a beignet. Sorry. Like,
did you when you first moved there?
Oh no.
Really?
I'm very strict about my diet. So I don't eat that stuff. So that being said, I might not be the best person to ask because I'm restrictive in what I allow myself to eat.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm sure a beignet, my son loved beignets. I mean, he'd come home with the powdered sugar all over his face.
Oh, so can the people expect to see you at the New Orleans bar anytime soon? I know you said that you are throwing a crawfish.
Yeah, so I'll be around that weekend. Like I'll be around closer to St. Patrick's Day.
Okay. Does something go on during?
We do something called the Guinness Challenge, which is a run. It's a 5-mile run, and every mile you have to drink a Guinness.
Oh.
So we do
heavy lager, isn't it?
Yeah, which is part of the challenge.
You amaze me. You amaze me.
Well, so we do this thing. So we've been doing it, I guess, about 4 or 5 years now, and a bunch of us. So people fly in from all over the country. Kevin, one of our guys, usually out of our group, wins. But last year, it's gotten big. So we've been inviting more and more people. And last year, one of my neighbors in New Orleans won. He won the whole thing. So all of a sudden he shows up at my house with like cases of Guinness. And it's like, and he's like, no, he won.
The whole thing. Wow. And do you train for this? Are you guys training for this? I know you are on a strict diet.
I don't practice running and drinking, no.
Okay, that's...
Yes.
Oh,
no, I don't do that.
That is so cool. Well, thank you, Lil, for giving us a little insight to the New Orleans bar and your time in New Orleans. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon in the future.
Okay, well, have a nice Friday.
Thank you. You too. Cheers.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.